Good blessed Wednesday night, December the 19th, 2023. The time being about 6:15 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter whether you proclaim toughest to the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaim enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me, anything that I say, do, or produce. That's your prerogative. You have a First and 14th Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom to gather, freedom to associate, as long as you're doing it peaceful. Tonight, what I want to talk about, y'all, let y'all know from last night, I got back this morning. Well, this morning, me and one of my mechanics, I have two black mechanics and one white one. But me and one of my mechanics, we got my car back going. I don't know if it's all the way right, but my daughter was able to go to the next town to work in it. So far, so good. I know I got those of y'all that's praying for me and then those that are praying against me. With all of y'all, I'll just say peace, be still. But what I want to talk about, y'all, is especially to some of the younger generation here in Charleston, Missouri, and every place else, but by me living in Charleston, Missouri. I want y'all to look back about a month ago in Chicago, Illinois. 4 individuals, teenagers, was trying to carjack a person. And the person ended up killing 2 of the 14-year-olds. Then you had a 17-year-old and I think a 16-year-old that actually carjacked the person, but the person was able to stab one of them in the eye. Then just Friday, December the 15th, 2023, just last week, in the Bridgeport area, once upon a time, Bridgeport area, blacks couldn't even be around there in Marquette Park, the southwest side of town, Richard Daley Incorporation. But anyway, the fire department was called there Friday morning. And on Friday morning, December the 15th, 2023, when they was putting out the car fire, they opened up the trunk of the car. There laid a male inside the burning car. 1 bullet in the head, 1 bullet in the neck. 14 years old, 15 years old. I'm saying this to tell some of you individuals that out here, you throwing eggs at people's cars, you getting on my YouTube and other people's and threatening elder people. Some people is getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, I want you to take heed to this for a reason. It was a young guy that I know here in town, know his mother, grandmother, know his whole family. About an hour ago, by it being dark out here, I was just pulling up from down this way on Vine Street, and I seen him walking this way, and he had his coat in his hand, and that was unusual because it's cold out here. It's cold outside. But anyway, I let my window on the passenger side and said, "You going home to your grandma's house?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You want a ride?" Gave him a ride. A 13-year-old. And as we was driving, I told him, I said, "It's kind of cold out here. You can catch pneumonia without having your coat on." He said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "I was playing basketball, and when I was getting ready to put on my jacket, somebody had spit in the inside of it." Spit in the inside of this young guy's jacket, y'all. Things like that make you end up in the alley with bullets in your head. Make you end up in the trunk of somebody's car. Not saying this here, what happened to this young guy or the young 14-year-olds was shot, because I don't know what, well, I know two of them was trying to carjack. I don't know what the 15-year-old did, but I don't think whatever he did, I don't think I could have put a bullet in his head and a bullet in his neck and put him in the trunk of a car and set him on fire. That's executional style. Now, 9 out of 10 times, well, I ain't gonna say 9 out of 10 times, because with where he was found at in Bridgeport, you know, you got some racist people over there. But most times it's black doing it to black. But you can execute a young 15-year-old like that, but then you got Ku Klux Klan and Nazis all around, and you won't even throw a rock at them. Another thing that I want to talk about is, you know, the police, law enforcement officials. I'm letting the people know that follow me. I'm not anti-law enforcement. I'm not a racist neither. But some of you law enforcement officials that know what some of your code workers is doing, and you don't report it, you just as worse as them. And back to the young people, not just young people, some of your other brothers. You know, I spent a large amount of years in the penitentiary. But you can tell when you see people that spent large amounts of years in the penitentiary, when they hit the streets, when they get back to society, what you see them do out here is what they was doing inside. If they coming out after spending all them years, decades, and then out here gang banging and selling drugs, that's what their mind was on. They probably was playing cards, fighting over the TV, who gonna watch what, who gonna watch Popeye, and the other one wanna watch the Flintstones. I'm just keeping it 100% real. Each time I went in, I got an education. The education I got, I shared it with other people inside of there. They didn't have a GED. I helped them. I assisted them. They wanted to take a trade that I've taken already. I helped them. You see, I didn't let the time do me. I did the time. It ain't that I necessarily did the crime, but I wasn't in there enjoying myself. I wasn't in there chasing after somebody because they ain't paid no dues to some gang. I'm going to leave for right now, but try to encourage some of you young blacks. Stop disrespecting your elders. Stop disrespecting your parents. Stop trying to be like your big brothers or your big brother's friends. Dope dealing ain't gonna get you nowhere. I ain't seen damn rich dope dealer here in Charleston, Missouri for the 27 years or 26 years I've been down here. I ain't seen damn gangster down here. I don't care what organization or gang you in. I ain't seen damn gangster tell the judge, the police, don't arrest my member, one of my members. I ain't seen damn one of them going to court when they said all rise, if they stayed sitting down or kept their cap on or didn't pull their pants from behind down by past they behind and pull them up. Now, I did time with some gangsters. But living out here, being a black man that's not about crime, not about using other people, it ain't easy. But one thing about God, God let us suffer for a reason. He let Job suffer, and Job hadn't did a thing. But one thing about it, in the end justified the means. Job knew what God was doing. Job's wife didn't understand. But I'm going to tell all of my children's grandchildren's. January, I see another year. It's going to be a change. I'm not coming traveling 400-500 miles to visit nobody. If I do come up there, I'll be in a hotel. If you want to visit me, you can. You see what I'm saying? When I was younger, my parents didn't have to come visit me. My grandparents didn't have to come visit me. My grandparents and parents didn't have to come see my children. I took them to go see them. That's what people was doing when I was coming up. I don't know what's wrong with this generation. And no disrespect, I'm just keeping it 100% real. I didn't talk back to my parents. I didn't bring narcotics in my parents' house. I didn't bring narcotics in my parents' vehicles. I didn't disrespect my parents, their vehicles, or their property. It's a generation. If you don't be careful, you won't live, especially you teenagers, you won't live to see 17. Look what's happening out here. I pray for these youngsters that's getting killed. But you know, people is getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. Do y'all ever think people get tired of y'all down here in Charleston, Missouri, disrespecting the elder people, throwing eggs at people's houses, shooting up people's houses? People is getting tired. But you got to be careful. You might hit the wrong person one time. And I don't know if you heard the song, The Nights the Lights Went Out in Georgia. That's the night they harmed an innocent man. I'm going to leave this at this here. Peace be still. I'm showing these two Bibles for a reason. I even went to my Holy Quran to do a little checking. Didn't look at it because I really needed to. It's just something that one of the top or the highest ranking Catholic authority, the Pope, made a decision. And it's a decision that I don't think that the Bible nor the Quran, I don't think any religious book would agree nowhere near with the decision he made, because I believe 4 or 5 cardinals came to him about an issue. And the issue was that males wanted to marry males and females wanted to marry females. And the Pope has given those bishops his blessings, according to the news now. The Pope has given those cardinals, bishops, his blessings to allow them to bless same-sex marriage. You see, that's why I don't follow behind man. Even though I voted for Barack Obama, but you remember in his first terms, he was about one thing, and then when he wanted to be re-elected, he was about the same thing that the Pope is talking about now. You see, if the Pope is blessing same-sex marriages, that means he don't believe in what God said, nor his bishops or cardinals for even bringing or entertaining the thought. When God said, God's word says, for us to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Two males can't do that together. If every male and every male in the world
became lovers of each other, and every female would become lovers of each other, the earth wouldn't have no human beings too much longer. Now, see, when those Roman soldiers brought the female that they said committed adultery to Jesus, and they was asking Jesus what to do with her because she broke the law. You remember he put his head down and wrote in the sand? And when they confronted him again, what did he tell the Roman soldiers? Go and sin no more. But the Pope is telling these people, go and continue to sin until you feel God say, don't sin no more. I'm going to leave it at this here. When you allow a man or some woman to tell you to do something that you know that's not morally right, then you're not following God. You following that man or that woman. Peace, be still.